hood, falling out the hood, falling getting money like a real one should. I'ma take a sip, get a little lit back in a bit, meditate, I think I should. No, we ain't friends, got me on 10.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another video here on Peg City Hockey. Now today, we're going to be talking about your favorite Winnipeg Jet, Pierre-Luc Dubois. Yay, I know we all love talking about him, but nonetheless, his name's going to be in the rumor mill for a long time as one of the bigger pieces getting moved this offseason. We know it's happening. It's almost a guarantee. So at this point, what's the big teams going after him? Well, obviously we know about the Habs. That's been the story for the last few years surrounding Pierre-Luc Dubois and his long-term destination for the NHL. But as of late, there seems to be a big push coming out of the California coastline from the LA Kings, and it's very, very interesting because I did not think that LA would be a team interested in Dubois. I didn't think that he would be interested in going to LA. I don't know, I just felt like Dubois was like kind of an East Coast guy. Maybe that's where he was going to go, but maybe the West is appealing to him all of a sudden. And the Kings are making a very big push. Now, I'm going to play you guys a clip that's almost about 2 minutes long from 32 Thoughts, which is Elliot Friedman's podcast. And this is really where things start to heat up for the rumors sort of revolving around Pierre-Luc Dubois and the LA Kings. So go ahead and take a listen to this.
Speaking of trades, what do you hear? What do you know? What's the latest? Last time we spoke was all about the Kings, Pierre-Luc Dubois.
So I have thought for a lot that Dubois was going to end up in Montreal.
Well, we all did.
And I don't think I'm alone here, but I know I've been very bold about it. My feeling on this, and this is the thing I'm always careful with, because as Isaiah Thomas once told me when I was starting out in the business, around the draft, everybody lies. Everybody has an agenda. And I'm always careful about this. But I think the Kings have made this interesting. One of the more recent podcasts, they said, I think they're in this. I think they've leaned in very hard. And I think that they've made it very clear to Winnipeg. If they haven't made an offer, they have basically let Winnipeg know we're in and we're willing to make this work. We'll see. You know, initially you talked about Rangers, Minnesota.
Yeah.
And I don't think you're wrong. I'm not like trashing my co-host. I don't like that. But I think the Kings are very much in this now.
I also put Tampa and Dallas in there too. You want to trash those two while you're at it, Elliot?
No, but you also mentioned Colorado on a 1-year play.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think that's impossible, but I think we're going to let the Kings exhaust their possibilities here.
Yeah.
I think this is very real.
Okay, so obviously, the Kings have jumped to the front of this list, I would say. I would say the Kings are right there with the Habs as being the two likeliest teams to get Dubois at this point. Now, like obviously Elliot said, this is just a rumor. Near the draft, things can be lied about at this time of year. We all know that. We've seen it in the past. I think this makes a lot of sense, especially for Winnipeg. You know that Dubois has tanked his value. But if there are teams that are interested in acquiring Dubois, and Dubois actually has interest going there and signing, and that is known, then his value goes back up a little bit because, okay, now he's actually okay. At first, I thought that rumors about him getting a 5 to 7 team list, I wasn't exactly sure about that. I thought it was kind of bullshit. It more just sounded like Dubois was, hey, you know, I'm giving you a list, guys. You can trade me somewhere. But we all know that it was going to be a Habs for the long term. Every team, the way his attitude has been, didn't really want to touch that. But if the Kings are interested and the Kings are willing to make a commitment to him with money long term and acquiring him, then we might have a chance. Now, obviously, I know if you're a Kings fan, you're probably going to be devaluing him a lot. And I understand that. I've been used to seeing Pierre-Luc Dubois devalued by every franchise out there because he's tanked his trade value. I understand that. So obviously, my trade proposal probably will be higher than yours when it comes to value, but at the same time, think of it with more of an open mind that maybe your GMs and maybe the value is actually going up a little bit. Maybe it's not as low as we all thought it would be. Maybe there actually is appeal for Dubois in the league still, and maybe it's because it's being known now that he will sign with you. So obviously we know what Pierre-Luc Dubois' stats look like. You know, they really do speak for themselves. Just take a look at them. So he's a good player, but again, Dubois has never been this amazing elite player. Like, let's be real, his 63 points is his highest point total, and it came this last year. His highest goals were last year with 28. He didn't even tie his goal total from last year. I know that was his career high, but again, like, Dubois is good, but I haven't seen him ascend to this $9 million center that he thinks he is, and this, top legit number 1 guy. Dubois, to me, right now, screams legit number 2 punch center. Like, he's a great second-line center, and at times when he's hot, he runs the number 1 line, but I've watched Dubois play for 3 years now in Winnipeg. 2 full seasons and a half season, obviously, when he was acquired back in 2021, until 2020, early 2020. That being said, like, I still don't think that this is the right move. Like, I the value that he ascends himself, like, I don't see him as this elite piece. So I'm not going to say that you're going to get the top stuff from Dubois. I know he's 24. I know 63 points is good, but he still hasn't ascended to that next level yet. So I think if you're really looking for a guy on the Kings that you can get that is kind of in that similar spot that needs to ascend to the next level, I think it's Gabe Vilardi. I really do. I think that he has had some really good moments at 23 years old. Obviously, that 41 points last year being his career high. I think Gabe Vilardi could be a guy that the Jets could work into their system, because right now Winnipeg needs a future. They really don't have one right now. They need guys that can be here for a while, that have room to grow, and Gabe Vilardi has a lot of room to grow. Now, obviously, it's not going to be a one-for-one trade, Gabe Vilardi for Dubois, no. But if you're talking about a guy that I think can actually make an impact in Winnipeg long-term, I think Gabriel Vilardi has a lot. But if you really want to go out there on a limb and really risk it for a guy, I think a guy that should be coming back in this deal for Dubois, I really believe it if you're the Jets, I think it has to be Quinton Byfield. You need Quinton Byfield because you took a chance on Brad Lambert. Quinton Byfield, the 2nd overall pick, he's kind of what Brad Lambert could have been if Brad Lambert was taken up that high. Let's be real. Like 22 points. I know he's had some good moments. His advanced stats, you can take a look at them right now yourself. They're nothing to, scream about. He's only 20 years old still, so he's got room to grow. But in 99 NHL games, putting up only 33 points in 8 goals. That is not what you want from a 2nd overall pick. I think he has a lot of room to grow, though. His game is strong. It's just he has never really... he still needs to take that next step. And I think that he could take the next step with Winnipeg. I think that if you give him a real line to dominate, not when he's playing with Kopitar, not where he has that stress as a young 2nd overall guy coming in, I think Byfield does have a lot to offer still. So yeah, maybe you could throw Byfield and Vilardi into a deal and you make that move for Dubois. Compared to what the Habs are going to be offering for Dubois, I think that that's interesting. I do not want anyone from the Habs really outside of their elite guys. And I know that Habs fans are going to laugh at me for saying that, but you're not going to get Pierre-Luc Dubois for Josh Anderson in a second. In no fucking realm is that going to ever happen. So, Gabe Vilardi, an interesting player. He's getting better, 23, Byfield, lots of potential. Maybe you get a pick coming back the other way as well because the Jets have traded out a lot of picks. I think that makes a lot of sense for Winnipeg. Again, spitballing off the top of my head. I'm not going to go too in-depth. I'm never one to go too in-depth into these potential, trade videos like that. I just like to think about it from the team's sides. Does it make sense for them? Because at the end of the day, the value of a trade is impossible to predict. That really comes down to the one-on-one phone call with the GMs and how the player value is for them. For me out here as a fan, we always overvalue and undervalue. So at the end of the day, I think that from the Kings' standpoint, getting Dubois long-term with the potential for him to grow into that top 6 makes a lot of sense. I think he would fit in very well there. And it's a surprise to me for sure that they've jumped this far into it, but I think it makes a lot of sense. And I think the Kings have the right pieces that the Jets would be interested in because they want guys that can help now. They want to acquire players that are NHL ready and already in the league because they want to send the message to Connor, to honestly to Scheifele still if he's here. I really don't think Scheifele's getting traded. But Connor, Morrissey, Ehlers, guys that are here with term, You need to send a message to those guys and the younger ones as well. And Perfetti, you need him to sign him long term, right? Perfetti needs to come in, play well, and you need to keep him as well. He's a big part of the future. So you need to send a message to those guys that even though we're in a little bit of a retool right now, we're trying to bring in pieces that can help us still win. We're not just looking to tank and waste your guys' careers because you shouldn't be trying to. Teams that have talent like that in the NHL, and especially in the NHL where it is a team-based league, you need to keep those guys. You need to keep strong players that are on affordable contracts like Ehlers, like Josh Morrissey especially, and those guys help grow you into a Stanley Cup competitor. Jack Eichel is the first player to be making over $10 million to win the Stanley Cup. That says a lot about these contracts and these teams they're giving out and the players' greed and not having success. So I think it makes a lot of sense for the Jets to go after and get guys like this that can help now, that have a lot of potential and room to grow, and can also fit in and grow with the current core of guys that are under contract that aren't going anywhere anytime soon, because you got to keep them happy. If Winnipeg just trades away everybody, and they're going to basically lose the team. They will again. That's as simple as it comes. Winnipeg is the market that you need to constantly stay, somewhat competitive. Even when the Jets were shit back in the day, they still tried to ice a competitive team. I can't even say that with some of the decisions that they made, but you know what I'm trying to say. In Winnipeg's a tough market. The fans aren't going to show up if you just say, hey, we're going to tank and be absolute shit and really not acquire anybody. Like, you got to trade the guys with value, bring in players that are young, that can grow, and then see what happens from there. That's the best way to do it, because you have a lot of good draft picks right now that are young, that are going to come into the system. See how they work out first before you trade them away and bring in someone else's prospects. So I think this makes a lot of sense for the Kings in the sense of acquiring Dubois. I think this makes a lot of sense for the Jets with the assets that you can get back for the future, for now, and just in general with value. So I can't believe I'm saying it, but I think this makes a lot of sense. I think this is the type of draft day trade that the Kings would do and that the Jets would want. Maybe you get a second round or third round pick back potentially. I don't know. But again, the Jets are looking to acquire draft picks, so this makes a lot of sense. Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. I'm very curious to see where people are feeling about this one, but I think the value is there from the Kings side. I think this makes sense for both teams. The money makes sense as well for the Kings. They can sign Dubois, so maybe this works out. Maybe the Montreal situation that I've been dying, just dreading for 2 years now won't actually happen. I would love that. And I'd actually like to get some value for him that is better than Josh fucking Anderson. I swear to God, if that's who we get, or, oh my God, no. No. I'd take this Kings one any day over the week. So let me know your guys' thoughts on this down in the comment section below. If you're a Kings fan, let me know what you think a fair trade would be. I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts down in the comment section below. Again, I really don't know that much about the Kings when it comes to their inner workings with their prospects and their value. I know the top guys on their team. Outside of that, I don't diddly squat, so I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts. Let me know down in the comment section below. As always, if you're first time checking out a video here on Pick City Hockey, definitely drop a like, subscribe, turn on notifications if you haven't already. Check out all the affiliate links down in the description below. Make sure to follow me on Twitter to stay up to date with all things Winnipeg Jets. And stay tuned for some more videos because they'll be coming up 2 weeks from draft day. Lots to talk about in that time. So make sure to comment your thoughts down in the comment section below. See you guys in the next one. Peace, love, and positivity as always. Go Jets, go. Bye-bye.